Good morning. As she said, we are coming off the Tom Jones Memorial Classic, where we had what I would call a very, very good competition. We had some great teams here. Texas A&M came in, TCU, Central Florida from here in the state of Florida, and a lot of post-collegiate athletes. I was very proud of my team as I felt like we stepped up to the competition and we kind of matched the intensity and the efforts of the other teams that were here. I'm very impressed with Jeff Demps running 9.96, which is equal to his PR, even though it was a little windy. It was the same time he ran last year to win the NCAA championships, also almost with the exact same win. Also very pleased with the development of Terrell Wilkes. He's really starting to come around. 10.19 is the second fastest time of his life, and he also PR'd in the 200 and came back and split 46.6 on the 4x4, where we ran for the first time this year and ran, I think, the seventh fastest time in the country. Eddie Lovett, I thought, did a good job on the men's side. I also think that on the women's side, we took some steps forward. Keely Medeiros had a great weekend, season best in the shot put, and I think one of the top 15 throws in the country in the discus this weekend. Good to see Corey McGee open up in the 1500. She did a great job setting a new personal best, I think the third or fourth fastest time in school history in the 1500. I was really proud of the women's hurdlers. We've been really on them about getting better and being more efficient in races. They've been having great practices all year, but it hasn't been converting over to the meet, and I thought they got better. I'm sure I'm missing something. We had so much good things going, and it's been a week and a half since that happened, but overall, very, very pleased with the team, very, very pleased with the focus and the effort. And again, having a meet in honor of Coach Jones is very important for us to put on a good meet and also perform well. In terms of this weekend, we actually have people going to pin relays, and we have our throwers going to the Drake relays over in Des Moines, Iowa, the side of the NCAA championships. Looking forward to it. The pin relays is something I think everybody should experience. And if you're a track and field coach or a track and field athlete, it's something it's really hard to describe. It's truly a relay carnival that goes on all day long, but it's a great competition. It's a great situation for us to go out and try to kind of compare ourselves against some of the better relay teams in the country. There's not a lot of individual things that go on there at the pin relays, but I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting the competition from the other better relay teams in the country, and seeing where we stack up as far as the field eventers going to Des Moines. Coach Lemke's very excited about the throwers and how they've been progressing so far this year, and it'll be the same situation there. There's a lot of the top throwers in the country going to Drake so that they can get a feel for the facilities there, because the throw situation is a little different than it is at most facilities. So it'll be another good weekend for the Gators, and we're looking forward to it.
Not having the provisional qualifying marks anymore for the outdoor season, how do you attack that any differently than you did with the qualifying marks?
Well, you have to a little bit differently, because when you had the qualifying marks, you had a kind of a drop dead date where you had to have a certain mark that was in the we figured had to be in the top 18 to 20 in the country, and then you're looking at the sheets trying to figure out, well, you got a guy that's a 4.2 doubler, is he going to double both of them, or is he going to come out and stuff like that. So it's a little different now. It's more about head-to-head competition. They kind of split the country in half, and the top 48 from the east side of the country go to, I think it's Indiana this year, in every event. So it's just kind of now figuring out what it takes to get in the top 48. And so then I kind of come from that system, being a former high school coach, where it's all about head-to-head competition. So I kind of relish in that. So I have no problem with it at all. I kind of like it better that way. So you're not trying to beat a mark, you're trying to beat a person. So I like that better.
But is there any different training or anything like that?
No, I mean, our training's always been the same. We've always our focus has always been, as I've said a lot, that we want to be at our best at the conference, regional, and national championships. And so what we do at the conference meet, if we perform well there, as we have in the past, usually gets us where we want to be as far as getting to regionals and nationals.
Coach, I know obviously you always focused on the Gators and going to the Penn Relays this weekend, but what does the competition look like in Pennsylvania this weekend?
Well, I mean, if you go up and down the national list in the relays, probably the top 4 or 5 teams in every relay, with the exception of Baylor, I think goes to the Drake relays every year, will be at the Penn Relays this weekend. So if you're looking at let's say the 4x1, you're talking about Texas A&M, Florida, Florida State, TCU, Texas. All the top 4 or 5 teams will be there. So it's kind of it gives us a chance to see the other good schools. It gives me a chance to see how we operate in that arena, so to speak, and how we handle the pressure. And so it's always a good thing to do. Well, I talk to people about this all the time, and It's interesting you say that because I actually talked about somebody about that this morning. A coaching friend of mine asked me what drives me and why am I so, adamant and driven to do the things that I do. Well, part of it is just who I am and the way my parents raised me, and a lot of it too is where we work. I mean, it starts with Jeremy and his attitude and his focus that he's going to give us all the opportunity to be the best we can be, and that's everybody's focus. I also think, and I've said this before, you come to one of our head coaches meeting, and in walks Billy Donovan, and in walks Becky Burley and Roland and Tim, and it just goes on and on and on. Who wants to be the slacker in that room? I know I don't. So I think that if you talk to any one of us individually, it's very important to us that we be successful here. We're like a family, and we care about each other and what's going on. We were off this weekend, and I'm following tennis, and I'm following. I watched the softball game, I watched the baseball game on TV, and we're all Gators, and we're all in this together. So for us, I think again it's a family type atmosphere, and we all want to be successful at what we do.
Thank you. So a lot of the coaches talk about being given the resources, being given the opportunities, and everything you need to win. So when people say, well, if you have money, therefore you can do this, do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. There's plenty of programs out there that have money that aren't doing what we do here. I think, Jeremy's done a great job of, selecting the right coaching staff. I think there have been people here before me, before the other coaches here that weren't as successful as we are. So obviously the money was here then, so it's not about the money. I think it's about the passion you have for what you do. And I know for me, I take this personal. Again, for me it's a little different too because, this is my alma mater. This is where I went to school, and, so that makes it a little bit, it's not just about a paycheck for me. The coin old phrase, I bleed orange and blue. So I also think that if you talk to the other coaches here, this is personal for us. We know that everybody looks at us. I was at a track meet once, and I heard somebody refer to us as a Fortune 500 company, not an athletic association. Well, that's their view of us, but I know what it means to us to be a Gator and how important it is for us to represent what we do and represent it well. So when I go to work every day, it's about finding a way to get better. It's about trying to be the best team in the country, and I know my fellow head coaches here feel the same way.